Hungarian Folk Tales. The Round Stone. Once upon a time, there lived a poor man. He had many, many children. Off he would go to catch a fish for the table, for they were very poor and had to eat. His wife would cook these fish for all the children. That's what they had to live on. Now, not far away from there lived his brother and his family, and very rich he was too. But he never helped his brother out. When there wasn't a bite to eat in the poor man's house, he would send to his brother, in the name of God, to let him have enough flour to make supper for the children. But he never got any. Once, when there was hardly a scrap to eat for a whole week, the poor fisherman said to his wife he was off to fish and he wouldn't come back until his satchel was full. He sat down on the bank early in the morning. No matter where he cast his net, there was nothing in it when he drew it in, not even a fish as big as my little finger. Now dusk was on him and still no fish. The poor man grew very angry. Well then, he thought, that's it. I'll cast the net one more time and no matter what, I'll go home. When he pulled it out, well, it was as heavy as could be. Now then, said he to himself, there must be a huge fish in it. Indeed, he could hardly pull the net out of the water. Out it came, and what was in it but a great, big, round stone. Ah, well, said he, I'll take it home anyway. At least the children at home will be able to play with it. And home he took it. His children were still awake. They looked at the great big round stone and started to play with it. They couldn't go to bed. They were having such fun with the game. They rolled it up and rolled it down the room and screamed with delight because the stone was getting brighter and brighter. Look, wife dear, this is some kind of wonder of a stone. It's shining like a diamond. Dear heart, said she, it's a diamond for sure. So they quickly decided that she should go next day to show the stone to the king himself, to see if he wanted to buy it for a lot of money. Up she rose at the dawning of day, wrapped the stone in a kerchief, and set off to see the king. First she saluted the king in the proper way. She took out the stone and showed it to him. Now, where did you find that, my poor good woman? Said the king, and was astonished. She told him that her husband had found it in the water. Then, my poor good woman, let me have it, and I'll give you 1,000 florins for it. Because he knew that it was a real diamond. The poor woman did not say a word. She just gave a little cough. Well, if 1,000 isn't enough, I'll give you 2,000. And the poor woman coughed again, and was so confused that not a word could she speak. But the king thought she wanted more. Listen then, my poor good woman, would you think 3 sacks of gold would be enough for the stone? This time she didn't cough. She just nodded her head. Straight away the king filled 3 sacks with gold and even gave her a cart and a horse so that she could go home. Well, didn't she go home in great happiness? Or wasn't there great happiness at home too? Never again would they go hungry. Well then, dear wife, said the poor fisherman, we should weigh the gold to see how much we have. Right you are, said she. Now there wasn't a weight in the house. One of the boys went to see the rich uncle. What would you be wanting a weight for? Asked the rich relation mockingly. My father wants to waste some money, said the boy. Well, the rich relative had a great laugh at this. Here you are, son. Here's the weight. And I'll come too, for this is something I have to see. Your father weighing money. So the rich relation stood, and all he could do was open his mouth and his eyes wide in amazement. Not even he had ever seen as much money all at once. Where did you get all that gold from? The fisherman thought to himself, I'll have a little joke here. The king gave it to me in return for 3 cats. How could that be? Asked the rich relation. Well, the fact is, brother, the king's palace is knee-deep in mice. So many that the king and the royal family cannot even eat their lunch or their supper. I heard of this, and while I was coming and going, I got 3 cats and brought them with me as a present for the king. It was as if I'd been given a reprieve, so delighted was the king, and he straight away gave me 3 sacks of gold for the 3 cats. The rich relation heard this and couldn't wait to get started. Well, up he went and called everywhere in the villages around them, and he bought every cat there was for a right handful of money. He packed them all into his cart and off he went to the king. What have you come here for? Asked the king. Your Majesty, I heard that you were in great need of cats, so that's what I've brought you. You mean in that sack there's nothing but cats? Let me see. The rich relation opened the sack. There were cats jumping all over the place. Cats to the right, cats to the left, cats everywhere. And you know what cats are like? They ripped and tore at everything. Dear heavens, what is going on here? Many cats, that's what. The king had him seized for playing such a trick on him. He threw him into prison, and for all I know, he's still in there if he hasn't been set free for catting the king.